It sounds like Tom Aspinall's ready to move on from fighting John Jones, which isn't a bad idea. Him fighting Gane would be a good fight. Him fighting Volkov would be a good fight. Him fighting Almeida would be a good fight, too. Not as much pay-per-view buys for those fights, obviously, but still good fights.
Don't get the guy to fight, Tom. We're getting straight to it. I mean, what are we waiting for? It sounds to me, recently I saw an interview where it says you and John are aligned, and you guys have decided together to allow for the UFC to tell you what you're doing. Is that true?
No, man, John's retired. What are we talking about, guys?
What do you mean?
John, you guys don't follow John on social media?
I don't follow him on social media. He said that.
No, me too, actually. Me too. But the guy is living his best life. He's had a fantastic career. We all know. We know John's a religious man, so I want to say God bless him moving forward in what he does with his life and his career. And we move on. We move on. I'm the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I'm ready to take on all comers, get this division moving again. Us guys have been waiting around too long. The contenders are getting sick of it. Everybody's getting sick of it. Even the fans are getting sick of this stuff. So John's retired, and it's time that we move on.
I made it to the UFC, signed by Dana White. Oh, yeah, I'ma go on beast mode.
So Tom, I'm just trying to get this back pattern down. Dana White wanted to build you and John Jones. They couldn't get John to the table. The UFC decided to move on and get you versus somebody else. But now we're finding out that somebody else isn't willing to step forward against you. Do I have this back pattern, my timeline right?
You guys are going to see. You guys are going to see really soon, Bob.
Oh, man,
This is exciting times for the heavyweight division, man. We get some movement. People are literally forgetting that heavyweights exist. Yeah. Nobody's fought for so long that this is crazy. Like, they've got a guy holding it up. That's old news. That's old news. The active heavyweight champion is here to fight them all. Let's get it on.
The date, the location is all set. Did you see that, Tom?
Well, I'll tell you something. I've got a date and a location. I've got a date and a location.
True.
Fatima Klein reposted this. What time are you coming? Image of Macy Barber. What does that mean? It means I'm not showing up. Klein and Blanchfield, I believe, are in a relationship with each other, and they both fight in the UFC. Blanchfield says that Macy Barber was unprofessional in terms of missing weight, not so much about her medical condition right before the fight, which caused her to go to the hospital, but her missing weight.
Wait, you still feel like it was unprofessional?
I mean, she can't control medical issues that she's having, so that's not unprofessional. I meant more the weight miss, on Friday, and kind of like the way she approached it. Like, I believe she was like offered more time to cut weight and didn't, and missed weight, and then still was acting the way she was, like at weigh-in. So that's more what I meant about being unprofessional. And I wouldn't want to be matched up with her again. I mean, this fight was our second time actually getting like matched up. She pulled out of the first one, and then this one. I know she had issues, but I mean, if she does have that severe medical issues, she will be kind of an unreliable fighter. So that's why I wouldn't want to be matched up with her again. The whole life thing, I definitely was caught up in the moment myself. I mean, she probably does have some issues, because if she was having issues leading up into this fight, she should have pulled out sooner, just so I would have been able to have like another opponent, or maybe told the UFC she's having some problems so they can have a backup fighter. Like, been somewhat honest about like her condition. I think that definitely wasn't right of her to do either. And then with everything that happened, it just kind of blew up.
The good thing for Erin Blanchfield, though, is she got paid her show money and her win money, and she gets 20% of Macy Barber's purse because she missed weight. So her pockets are full, but she still feels a little empty because she didn't get the fight.
Not a bad night, but you didn't get the fight.
Yeah, it's like bittersweet, because it's like at least I was able to get paid, so it's like I'll still be able to take care of myself in that sense. But I fight because I do really love it. Like, it is a job, and getting paid is important, but it is a passion job for me. So it's still super deflating. I don't think I realized up until like yesterday and today, like how sad it is. I'm like so jealous that I wasn't able to fight, or even like taking out my braids. It's just, everything was so weird, like doing that without like having fought. So yeah, that was pretty upsetting.
PFL World Tournament Semifinals, World Women's Flyweight Bracket, Carmouche versus Donna, Friday, June 20th at the Interest Bank Arena. Morab expects a very motivated Sean O'Malley on Saturday. That's one thing that O'Malley has in his favor, I guess. He's just more motivated to get vengeance in this fight, more motivated than Morab, because it's a rematch for Morab. He already won the first fight. If he can keep the fight standing and not get tired, with both which are tough things to do against Morab, he should win a decision. It'll be close either way, but I'll go with Morab by decision again.
I know how hungry he is. Either for him now, either everything or nothing, because he lost a lot of things. He made lots of changes, and then I know how bad he wants to come back, and I know how he used to be champion. He have everything. Now he's like under, and he like lots of people doubted him, and now I'm sure he's super motivated. He will go like a risk and stuff like that.
Jairzinho Rozenstruik is fighting next week in the Dirty Boxing Championship. He was cut by the UFC after his last fight with Sergey Pavlovich, which was a horrible fight, very unaggressive on both sides. It was a boring fight, which was surprising. Rozenstruik got a cut as a result. He lost in a boring fight and got cut. That you're at risk of getting cut by the UFC if you lose in a boring way. But Rozenstruik doesn't have anything bad to say about the UFC other than the fact that he didn't like the way he was cut. He didn't get a phone call, text message, or any communication. He found out through social media that he was cut. But that's just the way the UFC does business. A lot of times, fighters don't even know when they're or who they're fighting next. They find out through social media, and same with being cut.
Do you leave the UFC with any regrets?
No, I did not. As I mentioned before, I had a good run with the UFC, and the UFC wasn't bad to me. The way they caught me was dirty, but as I say, if there's no need for each other to work together anymore, then we got to move on. But I can't say nothing bad of the UFC.
Why do you classify it as dirty?
Because, for an example, I flew down from Saudi Arabia. It's a long trip. Came home tired. I went to bed. It was a big time difference, so I was sleeping during the day, and I got several phone calls. So it was on the internet before I know it. And I put it that way.
Wow. And what about your management?
Yeah. Lou called me, so I got a few phone calls, and then I got the phone call from my management, and then, well, I really find out.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that bothered you. You would have preferred a phone call in advance.
Yeah, unless or give me a reason like, hey, this has happened. We don't like it. We're gonna stop this agreement, and then we move forward. I think I will respect that more than the way it happened.
What I think was a little surprising was it's not like you were on a long losing streak. You had just won 2 fights in a row. You beat Tai Tuivasa, right? And so this, maybe the Pavlovich fight wasn't one for the highlight reel for you, but it just usually a heavyweight gets, released when it's like 4 losses in a row, 3 losses in a row, 5 losses. You was just 1 loss.
So for me, it was surprising, and I really don't know what the reason was or what the reason is. But as I say, I'll just move on from what I left there in the UFC. It was a great time. It was a great run, and yeah, I'm just moving forward.
Do you think it was about the last question on this? Do you think it was about the performance specifically? Do you think they just didn't like that particular fight and that was it?
Maybe, you never know. But you gotta see it. You gotta see it as this. I'm a fighter. I'm not a computer. You don't put a system and then you expect to do what you like. It's a fighter. Every fight is different. You gotta react what the opponent is doing. I'm looking for my opportunities. I will not run in there and get rocked by something that I didn't see coming. I have my own way of fighting. So the only thing you gotta give me the chance to make it happen.